I want to share with you, my goodness, my concerns, and they were from 2013, but guess what? Nothing's changed, and this is 2020. We really have to figure out what we're going to do to ensure that our voices are heard. So share the screen and begin the video, shall I? This is me. And no one can look at this policy on any groups. And so it eliminates now we're looking at amazing the amount we have an African American president, we have an African American justice. And we're looking at the years of the lack of community. I'm not saying that there was not money. There's been tons of money into our communities. But what there has not been is our voice in the oversight of public sector services for our community. So
all kind of different things along those lines.
So,
but
kind of understand. I mean, you know, if I could figure that out a long time ago, stop the share, that Black people in 2013 did not have a voice in the oversight process of the public services in the community. And here we are, 2020, and Black people still do not have a voice in the oversight process of the engagement of the public services for their people. That we're just straight up being denied access. There's another document I want to share here. Where is it? It is here. I know it is. I think I didn't open it, but anyway, I'm going to share this. Where is it? Here we go. I don't think this is one I wanted to share. I'll shrink this one a little bit because I have them all here. Well, why not? Just share this one. All right, Mrs. Anderson. Everybody can see that. On May 24th, 2019, the United States Department of Education Office for Civil Rights received your complaint alleging Clark County School District is discriminating based on race, color, national origins, and disability, and age. The purpose of this letter is to let you know that the Office of Civil Rights needs more information to enable the office to complete your evaluation of your complaint. So please respond to the following questions. And so regarding the race discrimination, you stated that the OCR, there is no process in which Black community has a voice in the oversight process of the governance, you know, operating under the policies. I don't know how they put that, but I don't know if that's exactly what I said, but I did say that there's not a voice in the oversight process or the engagement in the Black community for the services happening in their area. Then I said that 80% of the African American job, these people in the Clark County up there in the juvenile hall, there really is 80%, you know, people, 80% of the people there are, like I said, Black. And then what else was I saying? Children are born and they have little or no access to early services. And see, I looked at the data and I know that they only had 330 African-American children who had access to, you know, pre-kinder. It said pre-kinder. It said 330 Black, but it had like 2,000 something of the white, but only 330 African-Americans. So that's obviously says that they didn't have access. And the disability based on, let's see. Well, you know, I didn't really, you know, break it down. I just used a lot of data that was already out there on the net, basically. And it was easy to see because, you know, it's just real. You know, the real deal is, you know, let's see, my inbox, there is a response from, I had questions in regards to just what was going on in the process of this pupil funding formula. So here's my questions. It was my understanding that the legislatures were we're looking basically at equity issues in Clark County. And then I said I had requested information of the maintenance of effort for Black children in Clark County. And, you know, because it's an issue to me, because quite frankly, I'm not getting any information back. And then, these are just some concerns. While I was watching the meeting, I requested this information. And guess what? This is the response I got. So, this is what she says. So I just want to share with you how this actually works. So you push on this, and it takes you to this website, right? So if you want to get some data, you can go here. But then I really didn't get any data there. So I have to go back. How can I go back? I have to go back to my email. But then I pushed on this button. The report card. And it takes you to this report card, right? And then you have to put in right here what you're looking for. So you want to see school days disregard, or you want to just say maintenance of effort, and then you just go like that. But guess what? What's going to come back? Okay, see what it came back with. Okay, let's see. And no matter where we are here, we can look at not a lot. It doesn't give you a lot of opportunity to see information, because a lot of times you click in and you don't get anything. I mean, they're telling me to go find data on a page that doesn't show up anything. It's just, you just click the button and you get nothing. So, what difference does it make? Or I could, I really did ask those questions. I really just, and then, you really don't get a response. And that's just real. Even, what is it called? That's not what I was looking for. That's 619. Let's see what I did here. But what did, all right. All right, Mrs. Anderson, in response to the attached request for information, I received numerous emails from you containing statewide assessments, student assessment, discipline data, and whatever. And this is when I had filed the complaint. And so this is the actually the I was a civil rights person who was investigating my concern, right? And then then she sent me this as that was her response. And quite frankly, it never really went any further than this, because they gave me 14 days, but I was really going to have to find a child that I could demonstrate that I could find their information on. And because no matter what you do, you can't get access to information. They really don't let you have access here. And that's not something that happens. Because even when you go to Clark County School District, let's see, I remember going down here on this one and then put CCSD in the, go to their school district. You need to go to the school district. And then try to understand what's going on here. Because, they did say that they had not enough computers. And so anyways, click on student. And what do we want to know? We'd like to understand just what's happening right now, right? But know this, they already had this Focus 2024, and they already had the plan for student success. But, and then, they couldn't tell you how the children were being successful. And their reports really don't have a lot of data. But when you look at the student achievement of African American children, it's just not there. You can't explain what's going on, because they have a lot of circles and, bells and whistles, but you really don't get that information about what's going on for, students. I mean, I don't even know what to say anymore. It's kind of frustrating to always understand, you know, because I created this room too a long time ago. And then in the room, I have some files. And in the files, I had, let's see, this is the infant death report that was Sacramento County did a 20-year analysis on the infant death mortality rate. And, it really went over instances of death in Sacramento County. And Black children were the highest. In 20 years, African American children were the highest. And I had thought at that time that perhaps, the Black community would come together around that conversation. But, as, the meeting that's in my, on my YouTube page, I recorded and saved some of the meeting notes or some of the conversation that was happening in the community meeting and just who was there. But guess what? Third-party providers are providing a lot of the services that are ineffective. And when you have a third-party provider, there's really little or no accountability there. There's none. And so, we have all these third-party people that are working in our public school system and with no accountability, no maintenance of effort. And the sad part is that when concerned citizens come and try to figure out what's going on, you get this runaround. I mean, not getting direct answers, but the outcomes and the effect in the community are real. And it's just real because it's real in our nation. It's real that our children, for whatever reason, are not being as successful as they could be. And so anyways, when you go down this report, it really just describes, how they saw it. I mean, but this is just data. This is just real. Data doesn't lie. And the perspective, but this was not the Black community that was concerned with this was Phil Cerna. And he was, he was out there at the county board the county board, and he was trying to bring attention to what was going on. But like I said, for our people, we're still waiting to have that national conversation as to just what's going on since Brown versus the Board of Education. What was the maintenance of effort across the nation that engaged our people, and what were the outcomes? How many Black people actually are engaged in public policy or participate at the policy level in regards to oversight? And I'll say, good luck. That's what I'm going to say. That ain't happening. Anyways, this just is all the data. It's on my, it's stored on my Facebook page. And so if you want to be in that room, you just request to get in that room. There's no approval process. I left it open. And actually, just know that, it's going to be up to you to educate yourself. And that's just real. Here's this table here. Here's the desk. And these are the, areas in town. And, they probably have that here. They probably have that every city, USA. Areas in which, higher rates of poverty are, more dysfunction, and more deaths. Okay. It was really a conversation. But guess what? Did it change anything over the time? No, it didn't. It did not change anything. It was just so frustrating to understand that it didn't bring any change, because it didn't change the education level of the children in the public school system. So many African American children were not meeting basic standards and then dropping out of school and then having to still eat. You see, you still have to shit, shower, and shave, as they say. So you have to have a place to do all those things. And it ain't happening for everybody. And it's just something that's not happening for everybody. So I don't know what to say anymore, because it's not happening for everybody. I can go back into, there's just so much that I can say that I understand, but you wouldn't and you may not understand. And quite frankly, I understand why. Because when I was out there participating and advocating for my children, there weren't a whole lot of Black people that had the kind of time that I had. And that's just real. So here we are in the year of 2020. And the conversation is still not about on the African American children who would be targeted as the neediest and the most, you know, and we talk about the achievement gap, but it's a cliff. And we talk about what? What don't we talk about? We don't talk about how we're going to ensure that our people are really having a genuine conversation about the failure. And regardless of how long the schools are going to be closed, know that if you can't figure out where your child is by the time, I mean, it's past time. What should we say? You don't have an assessment tool to even understand if your child's learning right now. And if you're one of those parents, and I say, get online and go to the Khan Academy or go to, there's another one I sent, another parent a resource sent to go here. Here. And then I sent her this one, Connections Academy. Look at that. Parents need to get a clue. Education is not free. Your children, if they're not being successful, will be impacted. So it's just time for parents to step up. And I'm going to end this for right now because I'm getting tired and it's just getting late, I will say. Today is April 21st. This is my son's birthday, Tyler Allen Dunn Billups. His father's name is Mark Dunn, who never accepted one tiny bit of responsibility for helping to raise his son. But that's okay, because you know what? It was just what David Banner said. David Banner was on this morning on Instagram, and he was talking about how he was frustrated. He had never really had a lot to say about his sperm donor father, as whatever. But anyways, somebody broke it down to him. In the universe, it's unique, and it takes just the unique people to come together and make a child. And so I told my son, I really never ever met my father either, but I know that I have some of his ways. And the apple can't roll far from the tree. And so it doesn't really matter. The gift was life, and he's here, and I love him. And I love myself too. So you keep loving you and know that everybody got to step up during this time. So follow me on Facebook or follow me on my YouTube channel. But please follow. And find some of these resources, please. I mean, this is one, and the other one would be the Khan Academy. But I'm going to stop for now. Stop the share and stop the recording and say follow me. Subscribe, as they say.